The most surprising player in camp so far just might be 6'7", Johnny Wilson. Kick Dingbat here, and how much trouble is the rest of the league in when you got Eagles 6th-round picks making big plays to make this team? That's right. Johnny Wilson, 6'7", may just be on pace not only to make this team, but to actually be a part of this offense this year. We're talking about a 6th-round pick. Johnny Wilson may be the surprise of training camp so far. Now, we're going to get into all that and so much, but before we do that, I want to talk about a move the Eagles made yesterday. Philadelphia Eagles, we have signed offensive lineman Nick Gates and released cornerback Mario Goodrich. Here's my thoughts. I'm not sure what they're doing with the offensive line. If there are a couple guys, maybe they don't like what they've seen and they want to bring in extra guys, because it just seems like to me they have a lot of guys that should be able to play. But I don't know how happy they are with players like Hennessy and stuff so far. So it's something, the way I see the offensive line is this. Stoutland knows what the hell he's doing. Let him do it. So if he needs a guy, get a guy. That's it. So whatever the reason, I don't know what's going on, what they think of their interior depth, but I think the Eagles will be good to go. They've got Stoutland. Now, on an interesting note, Mario Goodrich was claimed off waivers today by the Giants. I think the Giants think they're going to do something against us or something. Whatever. They stink. Martin Frank wrote this. Getting the Eagles back for signing Nick Gates. Yes, I know last year he played with the Commanders. Yeah, some people, well, he played the Commanders last year, but he was also with the Giants. Listen, I like Mario Goodrich, but you have so many defensive backs. I don't see any way in which you cannot sit there and not cut defensive backs when you have to make moves. There's still talk about them possibly going and getting Justin Simmons, which we'll talk a little bit about a little later. So also remember, tomorrow's the Eagles' public practice. They'll be practicing. I will be live streaming. Joey will be with me. There'll be a shakedown. And listen, if you're at practice and you got decent seats and you want to make a few bucks, contact me because I would love for you to send video to me during my live stream. I'm willing to pay for it. So if you're out there and you want to, all you have to do is do boom, send, and boom, you earn a few bucks. So just let me know if you're interested. But, today we are in a situation where there's 3 big battles going on. You have the cornerback battle going on, which Quinyon Mitchell is coming off his best day, and I'm looking right now for Quinyon Mitchell to make his move to start by week 1, hopefully. I don't know if you guys saw him battling A.J. Brown. There was a clip the Eagles website put out where A.J. Brown goes up, one-handed catch. Quinyon Mitchell, you can't do nothing about that. It's just good. It's good coverage. It's a great pass, a hell of a catch. And that's what A.J. Brown, that's what Devontae Smith, that's what they're going to do to you. The question is who besides those guys at wide receiver are going to step up? That's the question. And here's the thing. I thought Aniyah Smith would end up winning that starting job at some point during the season. I look at it and I say, well, there's Paris Campbell, there's John Ross. That's who he has to beat out. He should be able to do it, okay? So far, Aniyah Smith, if I had to put a list of disappointments for training camp so far, he would be on that list. Now, I'm not saying he ain't going to be good or he can't get it together, but he's behind. He missed OTAs because of being injured. Now he's coming back, and he's dropping balls, muffing punts, and stuff like that. Right now he's behind, and Paris Campbell has fairly been decent. Now, a lot of people like Paris Campbell, and I like Paris Campbell in terms of his speed and stuff, but I think it's fair to look back at his career and say, he hasn't really done a whole lot. So how slotted, how secure is he as that starter? And what we're finding out now is that the Eagles may be looking at that slot wide receiver position as a position to sit there and maybe not just use one guy, but use whoever you need to in the right situation. So let's say between the 20s, you're going to get Paris Campbell. And then let's say in the red zone, one Johnny Wilson could emerge as a wide receiver. He goes up, he can high point a ball, he could catch it. He is a danger in the red zone. Johnny Wilson may be the surprise of camp so far that people aren't really talking enough about. There are a couple things I think we're not talking enough about that I'm going to bring up right now. Right? Here are 3 underrated things. One of them you may not agree with me with, but that's fine. First thing, Jalen Carter is a stud. I don't think we talk enough about how dominant he looks, how good he looks to be, and how high his ceiling is. Really, I have talked a couple times about Jalen Carter. It's not enough. Not enough. He's been that good. So Jalen Carter has been dominant. All right? Then the other guy that I think has been very underrated in talking about is Milton Williams. Milton Williams every day makes a play. Every day. No doubt about it. Every day he's making a play. And then the next guy, it's Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson is now making a play. He's getting reps with the first team, especially in the red zone. This is very, very, very important, okay? So I think that those 3 guys, they have been the biggest, the best thing in camp so far, besides Jalen Hurts and how good he looks. Now, a word for our sponsor. So get this, right? I got to tell you guys about this. So I'm one of those people that when they come home and it's time to go to sleep and you lay down and hit your pillow, that's when I can't sleep the most. My mind starts to race. I start to think about this. I start to think about that. I'm like, why are the Eagles not doing this or that or whatever's happening? And my mind races a million miles an hour while I'm trying to go to sleep. And my wife always says, "Here, why don't you try this like sleep time gummy thing? See if it helps you to relax." And I try these things, and for the most part, they never work. I never notice anything. But recently, I had this chance to try this product from a company called VIIA. And what it is it's a sleep time gummy. It's a hemp product. And this thing, I got to tell you, this gummy, I took one. All right? And about an hour and 20 minutes later, somewhere around there, I was out cold. I was relaxing. My mind wasn't racing. It was like somebody shut off a switch so I could go to sleep. It was really, really a great product. And this is what I took. This is VIIA THC-free Zen. This happens to be a THC-free one, but they have ones with THC, whether medium strength, strong, depending upon the mood, depending upon what, maybe you're trying to go to sleep. Maybe you're just, I don't know, you need something during the day. I don't know. Maybe, who knows, maybe trying to make some babies. But for me, this is the one I've tried, and I'm telling you, I don't know what it was. I've tried these things before and they don't work. This one from VIIA was great. It was absolutely great. They've got many more with all sorts of needs, like what you're looking for. They have it. They have the strength for you. They're legal to ship all 50 states, and all you have to do is use the promo code Philly500, and they could ship it 15% off for those, of course, 21 years or older. But I'm telling you, the one I take is this Zen one. Now this one, like I said, is THC free. They have some like this, which I haven't tried, that do have THC and stuff in it as well. But this one, for me personally, this is perfect. I actually, for the past few days, have been able to take it, go to sleep, and not have a problem instead of, trying to figure out how I'm going to do this or do that the next day and my mind racing. So definitely check the link in the description. Go check out their website. 21 years or older. Use the promo code Philly500 for 15% off of VIIA. Now, back to the program. So when it comes to the wide receiver position, it's really an interesting battle because when you look at the cornerback position and you look at the linebacker position, those are kind of clear cut in my opinion. You're looking for guys that could pretty much start, be on the field every down. Wide receiver position, I think the Eagles, they may be looking at it like, listen, we got Paris Campbell between the 20s. Will help us stretch the field, things like that. When we get into the 20 and we get into the red zone, that's when we want to use Johnny Wilson. And I think, especially if the Eagles are using a lot of play action and rolling out Hurts, Johnny Wilson may be the perfect guy for the red zone. He is not going to convert into a tight end. He is a wide receiver. So you need to take advantage of his 6'7" frame as a wide receiver and take advantage of it. But Johnny Wilson is a guy to watch, and when we get into preseason, this wide receiver battle is going to be, I'm going to be like this, watching. I'm going to be watching like this. That's going to be me preseason. Usually preseason's like this. Yeah, let's go. After the first series. Ready for the season. This year, I think it's going to be like this. Is that Johnny Wilson? Johnny Wilson's in. All right, Johnny Wilson, he's running deep. He's going up high point. Oh, was that Johnny Wilson? Now Paris Campbell's coming. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. I can't wait. It's going to be fascinating to watch. It's fascinating preseason. And Johnny Wilson, by all counts, is one guy we have to watch out for because I think he's going to be a stud. No doubt about it. Now, one other thing I want to bring up is something we have all been watching out for all season, and that is what's going to happen to Justin Simmons. And the Eagles are still the team that is being linked to Justin Simmons. Here's from NFL.com, right? Best NFL teams fit for notable remaining free agents. Justin Simmons to the Eagles, plus 2 Cowboys options. Who gives a crap about the Cowboys options? The Cowboys, they stink. All right? Now, here's what it says about Justin Simmons. I went in circles to where to put Simmons. I don't know why. Multiple landing spots make some sense. San Francisco, Indianapolis, back in Denver. However, I kept returning to it making too much sense for the Pro Bowl safety to reunite with Vic Fangio in Philadelphia. Yes, the Eagles are sure to say they like the current tandem. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship. Does anybody find it's been very, very quiet with Reed Blankenship? I'm just saying. It just seems like it's been really, really quiet in regards to him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship and are testing out James Bradbury at safety, which I feel is a joke. However, Fangio's recent commenting railing at the perception that the transition from corner to safety is easy made me come back to a Simmons-Philly pairing. Maybe it'd be a luxury edition and the veteran price tag would likely have to come down, but it seems like an all too familiar move for GM Howie Roseman to scoop up an undervalued asset. That I agree with. Here's the thing with Simmons that I see. You know he's out there. You know he can play the position, right? And I feel like we keep having to talk about this or bring it up because it keeps getting thrown to the Eagles. But it does make sense. He's played with he's been coached under Fangio. He knows the system. He knows what to do. And I think the tandem of him and C.J. Gardner-Johnson would be incredible. Now, there are guys that I like. I mean, I like Sidney Brown. I think Sidney Brown's going to be a player. And I think the Eagles wasted too much time waiting to put him in and let him really play last year. He should have been playing much earlier. Something that I'm requesting that Quinyon Mitchell, DeJean when he's healthy, these young guys, I want them on the field earlier than they put Sidney Brown. But the truth of the matter is when it comes to Sidney Brown, we have to realize Sidney Brown is coming off a very tough injury that usually when you come back from, it takes a full year to really get yourself back together. I mean, like, you don't have bursts, your speed's not there. You're just off. It just takes another year, and you usually get a bunch of different nagging injuries. So I think the best way to deal with Sidney Brown is let him come back at his own pace. Let him come back slowly, but don't put unneeded pressure on him this year. Let him get healthy. Let him be 100%. In the meantime, go out and get Justin Simmons to a 1-year deal. Get Cooper DeJean back, put him at slot, let him take reps of safety, whatever you want to do. When you have Bradbury and Avonte Max, your second-string safety, it just tells me you don't have enough depth there. Now, if you don't want Simmons, then when DeJean comes back, you got to put him at safety. Otherwise, I think Simmons at this point is a no-brainer, in my opinion. Not for 3-4 years, just for 1 year. And then after the year's up, he can go on his way. And then you get Sidney Brown, who will be back and should be really ready to continue his growth as a player. And you have Reed Blankenship, of course, still that can play, although he's been very quiet in camp. So, we'll see how it ends up at the end of the day. Reminder, Shakedown tomorrow night. We are live streaming Eagles open practice. I think there's a preseason game tomorrow too, so it should be a lot going on. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Right now, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, having a great camp. And I think that is key, because if those guys are good, especially with them and Milton Williams in the interior, those guys are good, then I think we need to look and see a Nolan Smith, a Bryce Huff. I think one of those guys has got to emerge as a good pass rusher. And if they don't, then you need to consider going out and getting an edge rusher at some point in time. Just my take on it. Denzel Washington out.
Hi, Michael Anthony Fitness here, MAF.
That's all.